those, and let us celebrate that today so that we continue to teach society that this is the way forward. If 50% of society is taken alongside, the country will soon reach great heights. So in conclusion, I would say that all men and women need to move out of comfort zone and speak up. Most important, have a fit mind in a fit body. That's my message as a soldier. Dream big and think about and bring about a change. Set your own goals. Be bold to stand up for a cause, and that cause should not end at I, me and myself. So choose to challenge and challenge it with a wisdom. Jai Hind, and thank you so much.
The theme this year of International Women's Day 2021 is #ChooseToChallenge. It is said that a challenged world is an alert world, and from challenges comes change. So the theme urges us to challenge. We now celebrate through felicitation 2 extraordinary women achievers. I call upon Mrs. Rosie Barreto to come and occupy the chair on the dais.
At the age of 20, Rosie joined as a postmaster and has served at the same post for 39 years. Although she has retired now, she earned her promotions through the service she provided, never once asking for it or writing exams for the same. She has held many prestigious positions and titles, which include the Catholic Church Association President and being a member of Stree Sangatane. In her own inspiring words, never waste time in life and do things that are fruitful and worthwhile. God has given us all a life to work hard and achieve, so we got to prove it. We at Manipal Academy of Higher Education are honored to felicitate Mrs. Rosie Barreto on this International Women's Day 2021.
Call upon Srimati Baby Salian to please occupy the seat on the dais.
Baby Salian is a woman with an inspiring story behind her, which made her who she is. Having been deprived of an education beyond class 3, she was inspired by the women of her family, namely her mother and grandmother, who were fisherwomen supporting their family through their trade. She is now the backbone and inspiration for around 2,500 other women who are a part of the trade. In the year 2010, the existence of Mahila Meenugarara Maratagarara Sangha came into being due to persistent efforts from her. We at Manipal Academy of Higher Education are truly motivated by your story and are honored to felicitate Mrs. Baby Salian on this International Women's Day 2021.
ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯ ಶುಭಾಶಯವನ್ನು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಆಯೋಗದ ಸದಸ್ಯೆಯಾದಂತಹ ನಾನು ಶ್ಯಾಮಲಾ ಎಸ್ ಕುಂದರ್ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಶುಭಾಶಯವನ್ನು ನೀಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯ ನಿಮಿತ್ತ ಇವತ್ತು ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಗಂಡು ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಭೇದವು ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮತ್ತು ಗಂಡು ನಮ್ಮ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯನ್ನು ಅರಿತು ಈ ದೇಶದ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಯ ಪಥದಲ್ಲಿ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನಾಚರಣೆಯ ಶುಭಾಶಯವನ್ನು ಕೋರುತ್ತಾ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್. ಭಾರತ್ ಮಾತಾ ಕಿ ಜೈ.
This year, essay writing and painting competitions were held on the 6th of March.
We have conducted 2 events, the painting competition and short essay writing competition. These competitions were held on 6th March at Interact, and the topic given was same as the theme for International Women's Day, that is Choose to Challenge.
very bad year, 2020. If somebody had told me or told us 2-3 years ago, this is going to happen in 2020, we wouldn't have believed it. But it happened. And a lot of people young people have lost their jobs. They have to take a pay cut home. And it was a very bad situation. But there are some nice things happened also during that time. It is our mother's job to instill confidence, Shakti, to our children, boys as well as girls, especially girls, because we always treat, I'm not talking we means in India, girls are treated as responsibility. They want to get rid of her, get her married. That is the main responsibility for the parents, and that should not be like that. We have to instill confidence in our daughters. They will believe in themselves. When a woman believes in herself, all others start believing in her, because she has tenacity, she has perseverance, and she's willing to work very hard. So mostly women are very hardworking, very transparent, very honest. And that is the quality we find in women, very rare quality. So to my all sisters here, I wish you very happy Women's Day. And all of you, I wish a very happy and healthy 2021. Thank you very much.
जीव झाला येडा पिसा त्याचा नाही भरवसा तोला.
Where women are honored, divinity blossoms there. A delightful morning to all the beautiful ladies and the noble gentlemen assembled here. With due respects to Nari Shakti and with a blissful hope to break the bias, I, Dr. Sushma, stand before you and consider it my privilege to host the International Women's Day program today, the 8th March 2022, themed Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. Due to the prevailing COVID pandemic, we have accommodated only 200 guests here in this auditorium. We also have nearly 1,000 people following us online. And as a request, I kindly ask you to follow the COVID appropriate guidelines in this hall. ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಹುಡುಕಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲದ ದೇವರ ಕಲ್ಲು ಮಣ್ಣುಗಳ ಗುಡಿಯೊಳಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುವ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಸ್ನೇಹಗಳ ಗುರುತಿಸದಾದೆವು ನಮ್ಮೊಳಗೆ. Prayers don't have to be long and eloquent. They need to only come from a sincere and a humble heart. With all due humbleness, to seek the gracious God's blessings, let us now invite Mrs. Shashiprabha Karanth from Student Finance Mahe to lead us with a prayer. I request everyone to remain seated.
मदशिके पिंचा अलंकृताची कोरे मदशिके पिंचा अलंकृताची कोरे महनीय कपोलवी जित मुकुरे मानस संचररे ब्रह्मणि मानस संचररे ब्रह्मणि मानस संचररे श्रीरमणी कुच दुर्गविहारे सेवकजना मंदिर मंदारे श्रीरमणी कुच दुर्गविहारे सेवकजना मंदिर मंदारे परमहंस मुख चन्द्रचकोरे परमहंस मुख चन्द्रचकोरे परिपूरित मुरलीरवधारे परिपूरित मुरलीरवधारे मानस संचररे ब्रह्मणि मानस संचररे ब्रह्मणि मानस संचररे
Thank you, madam. Two great souls have deeply inspired us and brought us where we stand today in this heavenly place that we proudly reckon as our workplace. The founder of the Manipal Academy of Higher Education, late Dr. T.M.A. Pai, equally and relentlessly supported by his better half, late Mrs. Sharada M. Pai. Let us now honor their divine presence with the floral tribute. Our dignitaries would be doing the honors. The chief guest of today's event, Srimati Rekha Sharma, Chairperson, National Commission for Women, New Delhi, who has gracefully consented to preside this event in an electronic mode. The President of today's function, Mrs. Vasanthi Arpai, Trustee, Mahe Trust. Due to unavoidable circumstances, she is unable to join us in person today, but she would be following the event and has conveyed her best wishes for its conduct. Our guests of honor, Professor Dr. Parvati G. Aital, writer and retired English professor, Bandarskars College, Kundapur, philanthropist Mrs. Indira S. Ballal and Dr. H. S. Ballal, Honorable Pro-Chancellor Mahe, educationist Mrs. Kusuma Venkatesh, and Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, Honorable Vice Chancellor Mahe. May I request our respected dignitaries to kindly offer the floral tribute and later occupy their seats on the dais. Thank you, sirs and madams. We are always under the same stars, and today we are under the same roof. Welcome. May I now invite Dr. Geeta Maya, Director, Student Affairs, to welcome the gathering assembled here and those following us online.
Respected dignitaries on and off the dais, faculty, staff, and students from various institutions of Mahe, a warm good morning to all of you and welcome to the International Women's Day celebration. A woman is a special creation of nature. During her lifetime, a woman takes on many roles: a daughter, sister, friend, wife, mother, grandmother, on top of the roles she may take on in her professional life. She has been considered the backbone of society. At every stage, women have shown that they are not powerless and have the strength to handle any kind of work. I take this opportunity to appreciate every woman present here today for all that you do and wish all the women assembled here a very happy Women's Day. On this day, people all over the world recognize the contribution of women in various fields. Every year, this occasion is marked by a special theme. The theme for this year is #BreakTheBias. It is not just about equality anymore, but a sincere effort to have a world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination, a world where difference is valued and celebrated. To quote Gina Dan, an Australian writer and feminist, feminism is not about making women stronger. Women are already stronger. It's about changing the way the world perceives that strength. Today, we gather together to celebrate the incredible women in our lives and to remember that women all around the world are united and have been fighting to create an equal platform for all irrespective of their gender. As you all know, that here at Mahe, each and everyone is treated equally and there is no discrimination of caste, creed, and gender. To raise Mahe to this stage, we should remember and commend the vision of our founder, Dr. Arpai, and all the efforts of our management team led by our Managing Director, Dr. Ramdas Arpai. Mrs. Vasanthi Arpai, President of Mahe Trust, has always been pillar support in all our welfare and empowerment activities and will be not able to join us today. However, she has conveyed her good wishes to all of us. Honorable Cabinet Minister for Women and Child Development, Government of India, Mrs. Smriti Zubin Irani, has conveyed her best wishes for the program. She is not able to grace the occasion in person today due to her prior official commitment. We are honored to have Mrs. Rekha Sharma, Chairperson, National Commission for Women, as our chief guest today and will be appearing online. On behalf of everyone gathered here today, I extend a very warm welcome to you, ma'am. We are delighted by the presence of Professor Dr. Parvati G. Aital, retired professor and the guest of honor of today's event. On behalf of everyone gathered here today, I extend a very warm welcome to you, ma'am. It's our privilege to have Mrs. Kusuma Venkatesh, an educationist, as president of today's function. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am. We are delighted with the presence of a distinguished and inspiring person and philanthropist, Mrs. Indira S. Ballal. As a guest of honor of this function, I extend a cordial welcome to you, ma'am. We are very fortunate to have the esteemed Pro-Chancellor of Mahe, Dr. H.S. Ballal, who has always been very supportive and encouraging all our initiatives. It is indeed an honor to have you with us today, and I extend a very warm welcome to you, sir. I deem it an honor to welcome our beloved Vice Chancellor, Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, to celebrate this occasion. Thank you, sir, for your wholehearted encouragement and support, and a very warm welcome to you, sir. It's my pleasure to welcome our beloved Pro-Vice Chancellor, Dr. P.L.N.G. Rao and Dr. Dilip Nayak attending online, and Dr. Venkatrai Prabhu and our Registrar, Dr. Narayan Sabahit, to this function. Dr. Anup Naha, Associate Professor MCOPS, has instituted Abhinash Naha Memorial Volunteer Service Award in the name of his father, late Mr. Abhinash Naha. I extend a very warm welcome to him and his family. A very warm welcome to our special guests of the day, the exemplary achievers, Dr. Lochan, Miss Hassini Upadhya, Srimati Mokambika Varamballi, and Srimati Sharada Shetty, who will be felicitated at this event. We are very glad to have you with us today. Very warm welcome to all HOIs, Mahe officials, faculty members, students, and all other distinguished invitees attending this event, both online and offline mode. I also extend a cordial welcome to our judges for the poster competition conducted on this occasion and our sponsors. Mr. Rama Naik, K. General Manager of Canara Bank, Manipal, and Mrs. P. Padmavati, Deputy General Manager of Canara Bank, Mr. Prashant Pai from ION, Mr. Maxim Saldana, Business Associate, Tanishq Gold and Diamond Jewelry, Udupi, Ditya Creations Manipal Campus Store, Glamour House Manipal, A1 Decorators, and Chiffon Wheels for their support. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, madam, and a hearty welcome to you too. We are extremely lucky to have a video message from the Honorable Cabinet Minister for Women and Child Development, Government of India, Srimati Smriti Zubin Irani. Due to official commitments, she was unable to be a part of this event. Nonetheless, she has shared her thoughts with us. Madam has wished this occasion a best wishes, and now we continue with the next part of the program. Empowering women is key to building a future we want. This line is firmly believed by our chief guest for today's celebration, the chairperson of National Commission for Women, New Delhi, Srimati Rekha Sharma. May I now invite Madam Hilda Cornelio from Mahe to introduce the chief guest to the gathering.
Dignitaries honored of the days, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and happy Women's Day to you all. The empowered woman is powerful beyond measure and beautiful beyond description. It's a great honor and privilege for me to introduce our chief guest of International Women's Day in this international town of Manipal, Srimati Rekha Sharma, chairperson of National Commission for Women, New Delhi, to this august gathering. If one takes a closer look at her style of working, two distinct virtues define her. They are leadership spirit and relentless will to keep doing good for women in need. if the National Commission for Women, also called the NCW, is known for working round the clock for addressing women's issues, it is because of her pioneering efforts to be ever ready and reachable for women across the country. NCW has been setting up new milestones under her leadership ever since she has been at the helm of affairs, with the latest being the new helpline launched by the Commission in July 2021 for providing 24/7 support to women affected by violence. During the extraordinary times of the first wave of COVID, when the country was put under a lockdown, NCW, under her able leadership, launched one of its kind WhatsApp helpline numbers for women. She was also the pioneer in setting up a special Happy to Help task force during the pandemic to help the elderly stranded at home alone in the lockdown, helping them with the medical emergencies and procuring essential needs. During the second phase of COVID, the Commission launched a WhatsApp helpline number, Another Brainchild of Madam, to assist pregnant women with medical emergencies. She has constantly advocated for economic empowerment of women and the aims to break gender stereotypes in the society. The list of services rendered by her towards women empowerment is endless. She has been instrumental in conducting key seminars around women-led entrepreneurship in collaboration with educational institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a very big round of applause and welcome Srimati Rekha Sharma and listen to the words of wisdom and support from her.
Dignitaries on the dais, Mrs. Vasanthi Arpai, Trustee Mahe, Mrs. Parvati G. Arpai, Mrs. Indira S. Balal, Mrs. Kusum Venkatesh, Dr. H.S. Balal, Lieutenant General M.D. Venkatesh, Vice Chancellor of MAHE, Dr. Narayan Sabharti, Registrar, MAHE. Thank you so much for inviting me on this program, which is International Women's Day. We are though celebrating International Day only once a year, but for me, every day of our life is a Women's Day. On the occasion of International Women's Day, let me first wish every woman, every girl a very happy Women's Day, and every man also, because every man has got women in their life. So for everyone in the audience, we are talking about gender biases in the society, and we have seen that gender biases and stereotypes are so deeply ingrained in our daily system, daily life, environment, home or workplace, that many a times it is either goes unnoticed or women hesitate to call it out. When you speak out against biases, you are sure to make a lot of people uncomfortable and uneasy. Raising your voice against discrimination is the only way to build an inclusive and fair world. This International Women's Day, let us make sure to voice our opinion and get it registered. Claim what is rightfully yours. I wish more power to my fellow sisters, not only today, but each day of their life. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Thank you, madam, for your inspiring and supportive words. Women like you pave the way for women like me, and for that, I am ever grateful. We also have a text message from the First Lady of Mahe, Madam Vasanthi Arpai, Trustee, Mahe Trust, which reads, open quotes, I welcome Miss Rekha Sharma and it's an honor to have her on this day. This year's International Women's Day theme is Breaking the Bias, and it's about working towards a world free of stereotypes and discrimination. A world that is diverse, equitable, and inclusive. Though 2021 has been continued a year full of challenges due to the pandemic, but women have shown courage and proved themselves to be strong, and they can achieve whatever they want at any age if they make up their mind. I wish everyone a very happy and healthy Women's Day. Close quote. Thank you, Madam Vasanthi Arpai, for those beautiful lines. Equality can only be achieved if the diversity, difference, and qualities of women are truly valued. I am sure that our guest of honor will agree with this no less. Professor Dr. Parvati G. Aital, a prolific writer and retired English professor, Bandarskars College, Kundapur, is our guest of great honor today. To introduce her to the gathering, may I now request Dr. Sonia R. B. D'Souza from Manipal College of Nursing. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am profoundly delighted to introduce to you all our guest of honor, a renowned writer and a retired English teacher, Dr. Parvati G. Aital. She completed a MA in English from Government College, Kasaragod. Thereafter, she went on to complete a PhD in English from Kannur University, Kerala, where her doctoral dissertation was a comparative study of the fictional writings of Shivaram Karanta and Takashi Shivashankara Pillai from a feminist perspective. Her professional experience started with her working as a lecturer in English at the School of Social Work, Roshni Nilaya, and in Vijaya College, Mulki. Thereafter, she continued working in Bandarkars College, Kundapura, where she was an associate professor and the head of the Department of English. During her active years in her profession, she worked in various capacities as a staff advisor to the Fine Arts Association, where she not only trained students in music, but organized and directed skits, music, and dance programs. Her roles included being the member of the Ranga Adhyayana Kendra, the sub-editor to the college annual Darshana, and the staff advisor to the College Literary Association. In addition to being an active academician, she also served as a vice president of Udupi Jilla Lekakiyara Sangha and Kairali Shuhudvedi in Kundapura. She was also a member of various literary organizations like the Karavali Lekakiyara Mattu Vachakiyara Sangha, Karnataka Lekakiyara Sangha, Kannada Sahitya Parishattu, and Kuvempu Bhasha Bharati Advisory Committee. Her contributions to the field of literature are immense, with more than 400 articles written by her, published in well-known newspapers, magazines, and periodicals. To her credit, she has translated more than 37 books, autobiographies, short stories, poetry, novels, interviews, dramas, and plays, and has published over 34 books. Her services to the Kendra Sahitya Academy and the Karnataka Translation Academy included not only translating novels and books, but being a resource person for the poetry translation workshops at Bandarkars College, Kundapura, and the Kannada University, Hampi. She was also the member of the jury for 6 consecutive times, where she was involved in selecting translation awards at the state and national levels. She was bestowed with many awards, a few to mention: Dr. Shivaram Karanta Sahitya Prashasti from Kairali Shuhudvedi, H.V. Savitramma Endowment Award for a translated novel Durbija from Karnataka Lekakiyara Sangha, Govinda Rao Endowment Vimarsha Lekana Prize and Mallika Award from Kannada Sahitya Parishat, Tulu Mahaniyara Pariskar from Tulu Sahitya Parishat, Kaliyat Damodaran Memorial Award from Shankaran Nambiar Trust, Kerala, Geeta Desai Award from Karnataka Women Writers Association, Vishvesharaya National Literary Award for a novel, Vodala Benki, and Best Translator Award from Kuvempu Bhasha Bharati, Karnataka Translation Academy. Let us now listen to Madam. I request you, Madam, to kindly address our gathering.
Respected President of today's function, all the dignitaries on the dais, and all my dear friends gathered here. At the very outset, let me extend my warmest greetings to all of you on the occasion of International Women's Day. And also I congratulate Mahe on celebrating a very important day for a very good cause. It is really very much thrilling, a thrilling experience to think that women at last, after being subordinated for thousands of years, are recognized across the globe today. In fact, the feminism movement also had done the same to a certain extent, but officially International Women's Day was declared for the first time in 1975. During these 46 years, much water has flown in the river. In many ways, women have been recognized in the society. We have been able to achieve so many things. And our campaign against discrimination has already started and moving on. In fact, women have been able to achieve their rights, economic rights, through employment, education and employment opportunities, and political rights through voting and participation to a certain extent in political administration also, and social rights also to a certain extent have been made possible by the support of the government, which has passed so many laws for women. But what we have achieved so far is very little, and we have a long way to go now to reach our goal. Every year, the International Women's Day has a theme, a campaign theme, and this year it is, as it is already mentioned, break the bias. Well, bias itself is something very unhealthy, bias about anything. And what are the biases against women? First and foremost is that women are weaker sex. It is a universal myth. They have already proved that they are stronger mentally and spiritually. And to a certain extent, some women have shown themselves to be physically also stronger than men. And in this context here, I would like to speak the biases in the Indian context, from the Indian perspective. First of all, marriage and family life. The Indian life mainly stands on marriage and family. You just think of the marriage rituals which are conducted during marriage. The very concept of Kanyadana itself is demeaning to a woman. What is she after all? Is she a cow, or is she an animal, or is she an inanimate object to give away as dana? And the rituals, at every step, the rituals show that the patriarchy has decided woman is inferior to man. Tying of the Mangal Sutra, Saptapadi, and the oath taking by the groom, Nati Charami. All these are just to show that without man, woman cannot live. That is what one of the scriptures, Manusmriti said, Nastri Swatantyam Arhati. A woman can live only depending upon men. But is it really a truth? That we have to think. She has shown that she can live without the help of men also. And even after marriage, it is the woman who has to cut all her bonds with the parental family and leave them and go to join another family. And there she gets a new identity. Her old identity is completely cut off. And she is given a new name. This is a sheer injustice done to woman. And even in the husband's family also, she joins the husband's family just to continue the progeny. And she has to leave her parents completely. And even in family life also, it is the man, the husband of the house, is the master of the family. And she has to remain servile. Domestic work is completely on her, dumped on her, and even looking after children. And in spite of all that, the society values only father. Wherever you ask, wherever you go, father's name is asked first and foremost. In all applications you might have seen that father's name is required. And one more bias is about woman's virginity and chastity. This is a mere myth. None of these things is asked by man. If she is raped, her chastity is considered to be gone. She is called characterless, for no fault of hers. All kinds of atrocities are done on her, and she has to suffer. Why should she suffer for all these? India is a country which respects women as mothers. For her motherhood, she is valued. Well, but if she becomes a mother at a premarital stage for no fault of hers, how she is treated in the society, you just imagine. Again, she is called a harlot or characterless. Even all by men and women call her by bad names. I have seen this in very many places, how a woman at a premarital stage becomes a mother. If she is originally called a mother, Mata, why should she be blamed like that? This is a bias against woman which makes her suffer throughout her life. If you go on telling about the biases against women, it is endless. Well, there are people who realize this. Such people I can categorize in three ways. Some people are blissfully ignorant of what women are really. What are the virtues of a woman? Some people do not know at all. They simply want to continue the conventions, continue the tradition. Second category is they understand, they know that women are exploited in the society, women are marginalized in the society, they know. But the sensitive issues which I just told, none of them think of. And the third category are the really sensible people, men and women, who understand that these should be changed. These biases should be called out. Some people who are ignorant of these, they are biased about feminism also. They think that feminists are man-haters. They think that feminists want only, they don't want family. Of course, extremists are there. Extremist feminists, they say that they don't want marriage, they don't want motherhood. But invariably, these people think that feminists are, they want freedom. They don't want any responsibility. They want a carefree life. This is what they say. But we should think of the third category, who are sensible in understanding that the biases against women should be called out, and a society based on equality should be established with our attempt. The 2022 International Women's Day as a posture to show the solidarity of people, both men and women, to support these issues, so to support women. The hand pose is like this, arms across, standing arms across, to show solidarity, that we would join hands, work together to remove all the biases against women and form a new society where women are considered in every way. It is not enough just economic rights or giving education to women or giving some positions in politics. These things are not enough. These are only superficial. In fact, all these sensitive issues also should be considered to form a happy society where men and women will live together happily on equal basis. I hope and pray that such a society will be seen in near future, and we all will be living a happy life. I thank one and all for giving me an opportunity to present my views here. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, madam, for your thought-provoking lines. We are deeply inspired by your thoughts. As you stated, we have a long way to go to reach the goal. Has risen a spark, and we will strive together to make things better for all of us and to create a happy society for all of us. Thank you, ma'am. As a mark of our appreciation, may I request our Honorable Pro-Chancellor, Dr. H.S. Ballal, and Mrs. Indira S. Ballal to bestow a memento to our guest of honor, Professor Dr. Parvati G. Aithal. Thank you, sir and madam. We now have the Abhinash Naha Memorial Volunteer Services Award of the Manipal Academy of Higher Education 2020-21. This award is instituted for the first time this year by Dr. Anup Naha, Associate Professor, Department of Pharmaceutics, Manipal College of Pharmaceutical Sciences, in memory of his father, late Abhinash Naha. This award is instituted to recognize a student with great academic excellence and who has accepted the value of volunteer work and has exhibited leadership and passion for serving the community. The student has not only made a considerable impact on the community personally, but also has inspired others to make a difference as well. There is one award in the form of citation along with a personalized certificate of achievement from Manipal Academy of Higher Education. It is no surprise that this maiden year the award goes to a women achiever, and we are proud to announce that the receiver of this award is Dr. Lochan, a second-year MDS student in Conservative Dentistry and Endodontics, Manipal College of Dental Sciences, Manipal, in recognition of her exemplary service and achievements. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Lochan to the dais to receive the honors. Dr. Lochin has accentuated the value of volunteer work by exhibiting strong leadership skills and a passion for serving the community. Therefore, may I now request our Honorable Pro-Chancellor, Dr. H.S. Ballal, and Honorable Vice-Chancellor, Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh to kindly do the felicitation. Thank you, sirs, and congratulations, Dr. Lochin. ಜಗತ್ತು ಇಂದು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಂಭ್ರಮದಿಂದ ಮಹಿಳಾ ದಿನವನ್ನು ಆಚರಿಸುತ್ತಿದೆ. ಹೆಣ್ಣು 4 ಗೋಡೆಗಷ್ಟೇ ಸೀಮಿತ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಪುರುಷನಿಗೆ ಸರಿಸಮಾನಾಗಿ ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಅತ್ಯುನ್ನತ ಸ್ಥಾನವನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯುವ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಬದಲಾಗಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ತನ್ನ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯದ ಅರಿವು ಮೂಡಿಸಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಆಕಾಶದೆತ್ತರದಷ್ಟು ಸಾಧಿಸಬಲ್ಲಳು ಎಂಬುದನ್ನು ಸಾಧಿಸಿ ತೋರಿಸಿದ ನೂರಾರು ಮಹಿಳೆಯರು ನಮ್ಮ ನಡುವೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂತಹ ಕೆಲವು ಮಹಿಳಾ ಸಾಧಕಿಯರನ್ನು ಇಂದು ಮಾಹೆ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯವು ಗುರುತಿಸಿ ಸನ್ಮಾನಿಸುತ್ತಿದೆ. May I now request Miss Anupa Lewis from Manipal Institute of Communication and Miss Aditi Shastri Kalaje from the Manipal Institute of Technology to lead us with the introduction and felicitation process of the women achievers who will be recognized today.
On account of Mahe's International Women's Day Program 2022, we are having a felicitation ceremony for women achievers. In this light, I request Ms. Hassini Upadhya, daughter of Mrs. Rajashri and Mr. Shrikant Upadhyaya, who is the principal dancer of the renowned Bhargavi Arts and Dance Academy Udupi, to join us on the days. Hassini, who is nothing short of a child prodigy, began her dance career at the early age of 4. Ever since, she, along with a family troupe, have presented more than 1,500 shows across India. On these lines, Hassini has won several noteworthy titles and accolades. For starters, she has been awarded with the title of the Gymnastic Queen of India by none other than Javed Jafri in the famously televised talent series Boogie Woogie on Sony TV, Mumbai. On a similar front, she has been nominated 8 times as the best performer of the day in the program Kunyona Bara on Zee Kannada. That apart, she is the recipient of the prestigious Kalashri Award conferred by the Governor of Karnataka. She has also been bestowed with the Swami Vivekananda National Award and the Aryabhatta International Award in appreciation of her talent. To this retinue of honors, may I add the Asadharana Pratibha Puraskar from the Government of Karnataka and the Kalaratna Award presented by the Akhila Bharatiya Nagarika Samiti, Aurangabad. Additionally, Hassini has been recognized as a gold medalist in the state-level yoga championship held in Mysore, and she has been represented in a national-level yoga championship held in Bhubaneswar, Orissa. Hassini is currently pursuing her 3rd year of engineering in NMA MIT NITE. Her creative sorties include drawing, singing, yoga, skating, and athletics. On this note, we extend a warm welcome to Ms. Hassini Upadhya, and thereupon I request Professor Parvati Aital and Mrs. Kusuma Venkatesh to kindly do the honors and felicitate Ms. Hassini. Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Hassini. I now request Ms. Aditi Shastri to take over.
ಸನ್ಮಾನಿಸಲ್ಪಡುವ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಮುಕಾಂಬಿಕಾ ವಾರಂಬಳ್ಳಿ ಅವರನ್ನು ವೇದಿಕೆಗೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಲು ವಿನಂತಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಐವತ್ತಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಪ್ರಸಂಗಗಳು, 150ಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಪ್ರದರ್ಶನಗಳು, ತಾಮ್ರಧ್ವಜ, ಕರ್ಣ, ಸುಧನ್ವ, ಹನುಮಂತ, ಭೀಷ್ಮ, ಭೀಮಸೇನ, ಉಗ್ರಸೇನ, ಕೃಷ್ಣ, ಅರ್ಜುನ, ದೇವವ್ರತ, ರುಕ್ಮ ಮೊದಲಾದ ಅದ್ಭುತ ಪುರಾಣದ ಪಾತ್ರಗಳನ್ನು ಧರೆಗಿಳಿಸಿದ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ನಮ್ಮ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಮುಕಾಂಬಿಕಾ ವಾರಂಬಳ್ಳಿ. ಯಕ್ಷಗಾನ ಈ ಕಲೆ ಇವರಿಗೆ ರಕ್ತಗತವಾಗಿದೆ. ಇವರು ಹೆಸರಾಂತ ಯಕ್ಷಗಾನ ಕಲಾವಿದ ದಿವಂಗತ ದಶಾವತಾರಿ ಮಾರ್ವಿ ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹೆಬ್ಬಾರರ ಮೊಮ್ಮಗಳು. ಉಡುಪಿ ಯಕ್ಷಗಾನ ಕಲಾರಂಗದವರು ಏರ್ಪಡಿಸಿದ ಹವ್ಯಾಸಿ ಯಕ್ಷಗಾನ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧಿಸಿದ ಏಕೈಕ ಮಹಿಳಾ ತಂಡದಲ್ಲಿ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕವಾಗಿ ಸುಧನ್ವ ಪಾತ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ದ್ವಿತೀಯ ಬಹುಮಾನ. ಇವರ ವಿಶೇಷ ಅನುಭವ ಮಂಗಳೂರು ಪುರಭವನದಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಪ್ರಸಂಗಗಳಲ್ಲಿ 6 ಗಂಟೆಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಸುಧನ್ವ ಹಾಗೂ ತಾಮ್ರಧ್ವಜನಾಗಿ ಕುಣಿದು ಮಾತನಾಡಿದ್ದು ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ತಾಳಮದ್ದಳೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದ ಅನುಭವ. ಇವರಿಗೆ ಸಂದ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ 2000 ಯಕ್ಷ ಪರಮಹಿಳಾ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಮತ್ತು 2012 ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಯಕ್ಷಗಾನ ಬಯಲಾಟ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಲೆಗೆ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹ ಅಗತ್ಯ. ಅವರ ಮಾತುಗಳಲ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳುವುದಾದರೆ ಯಕ್ಷಲೋಕದತ್ತ ಸಾಗುವ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆತ್ತವರಾದ ಮಾರ್ವಿ ಯಜ್ಞನಾರಾಯಣ ಹೆಬ್ಬಾರ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಕಾವೇರಮ್ಮ, ಪತಿ ಶ್ರೀ ಗೋವಿಂದರಾಜ್ ವಾರಂಬಳ್ಳಿ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಹಕಾರ ಈ ಅಪ್ರತಿಮ ಸಾಧನೆಗೆ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಯಿತು. ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿ ಗುರುಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದ ಪ್ರಖ್ಯಾತ ಮದ್ದಳೆಗಾರ ಶ್ರೀಯುತ ಹಿರಿಯಡ್ಕ ಗೋಪಾಲರಾಯರು ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗುತ್ತಾರೆ. ವಯಸ್ಸು 60 ಕಳೆದರೂ ಯಕ್ಷಗಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಕಡಿಮೆಯಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳುತ್ತಾರೆ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಮುಕಾಂಬಿಕಾ ವಾರಂಬಳ್ಳಿ. ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ 2 ಶಾಲೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಗೌರವ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕಿಯಾಗಿ ಯಕ್ಷಗಾನವನ್ನು ಕಲಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕಲಾ ಸೇವೆಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಾದ ಸಹನಾ, ಸುಹಾಸ್, ಸುಮಂತ್ ಇವರಿಗಿನ ಸಂತೃಪ್ತ ಸಂಸಾರ ಇವರದು. ಇವರ ಕಲಾ ಸಾಧನೆಯನ್ನು ಗುರುತಿಸಿ ಮಣಿಪಾಲ್ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಎಡ್ಯುಕೇಷನ್ ಇದೀಗ ಸನ್ಮಾನಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಚ್.ಎಸ್. ಬಲ್ಲಾಲ್, ಪ್ರೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಲರ್ ಮಾಹೆ ಮತ್ತು ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಇಂದಿರಾ ಎಸ್. ಬಲ್ಲಾಲ್ ಇವರನ್ನು ಸನ್ಮಾನಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿ ವಿನಂತಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಸನ್ಮಾನಿಸಲ್ಪಡುವ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಶಾರದಾ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿಯವರನ್ನು ವೇದಿಕೆಗೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಲು ವಿನಂತಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ. Please give her a round of applause, please. ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಶಾರದಾ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿ, ಅಂಗನವಾಡಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತೆ, ಕಾಪು ವಲಯ, ಅಂಗನವಾಡಿ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಕಲ್ಯ 2. 1961ರಲ್ಲಿ ಜನಿಸಿದ ಇವರು ತನ್ನ ಸೇವೆಯನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸಿದ್ದು 1992ರಲ್ಲಿ ಭಟ್ಕಳ, ನಂತರ ಉಡುಪಿ, ಕಾಪು, ಉಳಿಯಾರಗೋಳಿ ಗ್ರಾಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇವೆ ಮುಂದುವರಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವರ ಪುತ್ರಿ ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಪುತ್ರನಂತೆ ಬೆಂಬಲ ನೀಡುತ್ತಿರುವ ಅಳಿಯ ಶ್ರೀಯುತ ರಾಮ. ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಶಾರದಾ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಗ್ರಾಮೀಣ ಹೆರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಶಿಶು ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ಸೇವಾ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದು, ಇವರು ಇಲಾಖೆಯ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಇಲಾಖೆಯ ಸಮುದಾಯ ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ವಿಭಾಗ KMC ಮಣಿಪಾಲ ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ಹಾಗೂ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಪ್ರಮುಖರಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವರ ಸಮುದಾಯದ ಸೇವೆಗಳು ಜಾತಿ ಮತ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಭೇದಗಳಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಂಘಟನೆಗಳೊಂದಿಗೆ ನೀಡಿರುವುದು ಕಾಪು ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿಯ ಜನರ ಬದುಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿದೆ. ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ, ಸಾಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಕ, ಆರ್ಥಿಕ, ಧಾರ್ಮಿಕ, ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಸೇವೆಗಳನ್ನು ಜನರಿಗೆ ಒದಗಿಸಿಕೊಡುವಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು 25 ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ತಮ್ಮನ್ನು ತೊಡಗಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೇವೆಯೇ ಪರಮೋಚ್ಚ ಧರ್ಮ ಎಂದು ಅಂತಃಕರಣದಿಂದ ನನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಪ ಕನಿಷ್ಠ ಆದಾಯದಿಂದಲೂ ಸಂತೃಪ್ತಳಾಗಿ ಗರಿಷ್ಠ ಸೇವೆ ನೀಡುತ್ತಿರುವ ಸಂತೃಪ್ತಿ ನನಗೆ ಎನ್ನುತ್ತಾರೆ ಇವರು. ಗರ್ಭಿಣಿ ಮತ್ತು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಸಂಬಂಧಿತ ತಪಾಸಣೆ, ಪಲ್ಸ್ ಪೋಲಿಯೋ, ಇಂದ್ರಧನುಷ್, ಫೈಲೇರಿಯಾ, ಜಂತು ಹುಳು ನಿವಾರಣೆ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ತಮ ಸಹಕಾರ ನೀಡುತ್ತಾ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸಮರ್ಪಣಾ ಭಾವ ಮತ್ತು ಜನರ ಒಳಿತಿಗಾಗಿ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ತಪಾಸಣಾ ಶಿಬಿರವನ್ನು ತಾವೇ ಸ್ವತಃ ಆಯೋಜಿಸಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಂತಹ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತೆಯರು ಪ್ರತಿ ಗ್ರಾಮಕ್ಕೆ ಒಬ್ಬರಂತೆ ಇರಬೇಕು ಎಂಬುದು ಎಲ್ಲರ ಹಾರೈಕೆ. ತಮ್ಮ ಯಾವುದೇ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಮೀರಿ ಜನಸೇವೆಯನ್ನು ತಮ್ಮ ಆತ್ಮತೃಪ್ತಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಂದು ಈ ಹಂತಕ್ಕೆ ತಲುಪಿದ ಇವರು ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಾದರಿ ಅಂಗನವಾಡಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತೆ ಎನಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವರ ಸಾಧನೆಯನ್ನು ಗುರುತಿಸಿ ಮಣಿಪಾಲ್ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಎಡ್ಯುಕೇಷನ್ ಇವರನ್ನು ಸನ್ಮಾನಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಲೆಫ್ಟಿನೆಂಟ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ MD ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ್, ವೈಸ್ ಚಾನ್ಸಲರ್, ಮಾಹೆ ಮತ್ತು ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಕುಸುಮಾ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ್ ಇವರನ್ನು ಸನ್ಮಾನಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿ ವಿನಂತಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
Thank you, sirs and madams, for felicitating this year's Women Achievers. And thank you, Ms. Anupa Lewis and Ms. Aditi Shastri Kallaje, for coordinating this event of felicitation. Over the past week, Mahe had organized a poster competition themed Role of Women in Making Nasha Mukt Bharat. To give us more insights on this and to conduct the prize distribution, I now invite the coordinator, Dr. Chandni Gupta from Kasturba Medical College, Manipal.
Good morning, everyone. Respected dignitaries on the dais and respected dignitaries of the dais, ladies and gentlemen. Mahe celebrates every year International Women's Day, and before that day, we do some pre-event competition. And this year, we have done the poster competition, The competition was done for the people, which includes two groups. Group A, which was 14 to 18 years, and Group B, 18 years and above. The theme which was kept for poster competition was Role of Women in Making Nasha Mukt Bharat. It was open for all the students and staff of the colleges which come under Mahe and for schools which come under Academy of General Education under Mahe. The judge for the poster competition was Dr. Ashwini Kumar, who was Deputy Director of Students Affairs. And I thank him for taking his time from the busy schedule to judge the poster. There were many entries in both the events, and I will announce now all the winners of the poster competition, and I request Dr. Narayan Sabahit, Registrar Mahe, to kindly give away the certificate and the gift vouchers to all the winners. In 14 to 18 years category, the first place goes to Janvi Padmashali, Indrali English Medium High School. Second place goes to Vriddhi Bhatt, Indrali English Medium High School. Third place goes to Manya, Indrali English Medium High School. In 18 years and above category, the first place goes to Lirisha R.S. Mahatma Gandhi Memorial College. Second place goes to Diksha R. Mahatma Gandhi Memorial College. Third place goes to Aditya Gogoi, Prasanna School of Public Health. I think he is not there. He was unable to come. He has submitted online. Congratulations to all the winners. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir and ma'am. Congratulations, winners. I am a woman phenomenally. A phenomenal woman, that's me. These lines by Maya Angelou well describes our guest speaker and educationist Mrs. Kusuma Venkatesh, the president of today's occasion. May I request Dr. Nivedita S. Prabhu from Manipal College of Health Professions to introduce Madam Kusuma Venkatesh to this august gathering here and to those who are following us virtually.
A very good morning, respected dignitaries on and off the dais. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On the occasion of celebrating Women's Hood Day on today's International Women's Day, it is my honor and privilege to introduce you all to a profound educationist, an ardent traveler, a mother, a wife, and above all, a role model for many aspiring working women. Mrs. Kusuma Venkatesh, an alumnus of the Regional Institute of Education, completed her graduation and post-graduation in the field of education. Being an accomplished teacher in the field of science, she has a rich experience of over 20 years in the renowned CBSE and ICSE schools across the country. Having completed additional training in computer applications, she has played a pivotal role in the much acclaimed Intel Teach to the Future program, an ambitious merged program of Intel and Microsoft to empower teachers with incorporating multimedia into the classrooms to enhance the education process. Mrs. Kusuma has also garnered immense recognition for her achievement of training over 25,000 school teachers across Pune city between 2001 and 2004 in her role as the Pune city coordinator for the Intel Teach to the Future program. In addition, she is an ardent musician, proficient in playing the instrument veena. Her other skills include traveling and trekking extensively across India and the countries abroad, one of her expeditions including Machu Picchu at Peru. As an army officer's wife, Mrs. Kusuma firmly believes in women empowerment, having played an active role in innovative women welfare activities for the families of soldiers of the armed forces. Her steadfast perseverance, commitment to promote education and to empower women continues even till today. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you to the president of today's function, Mrs. Kusuma Venkatesh. Madam, may I now request you to kindly deliver the presidential address.
Thank you, Mrs. Nivedita. I think you said a few things more than what was required. Anyway, a very pleasant morning and a very happy International Women's Day to all our distinguished chief guests, Mrs. Rekha Sharma, Chairperson, National Commission for Women, New Delhi, Mrs. Vasanthi Arpai, our First Lady and Trustee, Mahe Trust, our guests of honor, Professor Parvati G. Aitar, Mrs. Indira Ballal, Dr. H.S. Ballal, Pro-Chancellor Mahe, Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, Vice-Chancellor Mahe, ladies and gentlemen who have assembled here and who are with us online. At the outset, heartiest congratulations Dr. Lochan, Ms. Hassini Upadhya, Srimati Mukambika Varambali and Srimati Sharada Shetty, whose exemplary achievements in their respective areas have been recognized and felicitated. The theme for International Women's Day 2022, announced by United Nations Organization's Women on 3rd December 2021, is unique with a twist. The theme being Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. It's even more interesting and alarming to know how the climate changes have drastic impact on women who are more vulnerable than their counterparts. Studies found that 80% of people displaced by climate change are women. Advancing gender equality in the climate crisis context and disaster risk reduction is one of the greatest global challenges of the 21st century. The issues of climate change and sustainability have had and will continue to have severe threatening and lasting impacts on our environment, economy, and social developments, especially where women are increasingly made to bear the brunt and marginalized as they constitute 43% of workforce from the poor and rural that are more dependent on the natural resources. But at the same time, the contributions of women around the world have deeply been recognized for being effective and powerful leaders of change makers, for taking a leading charge on climate change adaptations, mitigations, responses to build a more sustainable future for all across the globe. Continuing to examine the opportunities as well as the constraints to empower women to have a voice, to be equal players in decision making related to climate changes and sustainability is very essential for developments and greater gender equality, without which a sustainable and equal future will remain a far-fetched dream beyond our reach. the United Nations observance of International Women's Day 2022 under the theme Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow will be marked by a high-level virtual event. The Secretary General of the United Nations, the President of General Assembly, the Chairperson of the Commission on the Status of Women, the Executive Director of United Nations Women, as well as gender equality, climate change activists and celebrities will participate. The event will be followed by a high-level panel discussions. The theme is aligned with the priority theme for the upcoming 66th Commission on the Status of Women, CSW 66, achieving gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls in the context of climate change, environmental and disaster risk reduction policies and programs. Now, let us try to understand why and how exactly climate change impacts women more than men. Climate change is a planetary phenomenon that will impact all countries, but its effects are being shaped by pervasive and entrenched gender inequality. Heat waves, droughts, rising sea levels, and extreme storms disproportionately affect women. That's because women are more likely to live in poverty than men, have less access to basic human rights like the ability to freely move or acquire land, and also face systematic violence that escalates during the periods of instability. These factors and many more mean that as climate change intensifies, women will struggle the most. In fact, the Paris Climate Agreement includes specific provisions to ensure women receive support to cope with the hazards of climate change. And I hope many more countries will follow suit. The IPCC, that is the International Panel on Climate Change, found that gender inequalities are further exaggerated by climate-related hazards resulting in higher workloads for women, occupational hazards indoors and outdoors, psychological and emotional stress, higher mortality rates compared to men, gender inequality which also hampers women's capacity and potential to take part in climate action like access to and control over resources, access to education and information, equal rights and access to decision-making processes, defining what women cannot do in a particular context of climate change. Here are a few examples to illustrate the effects of climate change on women. When Hurricane Maria struck Puerto Rico in 2017, killing and displacing tens of thousands across the island, women were usually the ones who spent hours carrying containers of water for cooking, cleaning, bathing children, or washing floors with rainwater collected in cans. When it came to recovering from the destruction, it was exhausting and demoralizing for women. Climate change is making it even harder to manage household responsibilities in rural communities across the globe, where women and girls overwhelmingly undertake the labor of household chores along with gathering fuel and energy resources to keep the hearth burning. Another classic example is saltwater intrusion. From rising sea levels, tarnishing water quality has seen women in parts of India and Bangladesh facing health hazards along with diminished economic prospects as river becomes saltier. During droughts and forest fires, where women have to travel those extra miles to collect resources required for the house, leaving less time to pursue other sources of income, thus hampering their economic independence. The additional income of women cheese makers in Mexico was hit hard when the livestock owners replaced cows that required less water, due to which the new cows produced less milk. The women had to travel further to procure milk for cheese making. With water scarcity, women relying on community gardens and farmers' markets cultivate less, spend more on water and energy bills, and harming women's and children's health due to disappearance of sources of clean drinking water. The future environment is daunting, but it's not all grim. Women are showing remarkable resilience around the world by leading climate action movements, championing clean sources of energy, and building alternative models of community that focuses on sustainability and cooperation. It's really important to emphasize that women aren't merely helpless victims when it comes to climate change. Their participation and leadership can have transformative effects in their countries and communities. Now, with the above in mind, I would like to mention a few noticeable exemplary contributions made by our great visionary, late Dr. T.M.A. Pai. Welfare of people was Dr. Pai's utmost priority. Never be bogged down by the limitations of the current situations, never shy away from bold steps, and most importantly, always look for long-term sustainable solutions and not quick fixes, was Dr. T.M.A. Pai's mantra. He firmly stood by the belief that to remove poverty, education, health, and economic independence, especially for women, were the only ways. One of the outstanding amongst many of the women-centric initiatives pioneered by Dr. T.M.A. Pai and Dr. T.A. Pai is All Women's Bank in early 1962, followed by 9 such branches across the country. Their firm belief was never to underestimate the power of a woman, whether it was women vegetable vendors of Belgaum or fisherwomen of South Canara district. They truly believed in the ability of women to transform not just their own families, but also the environment in which they interacted. Dr. T.M.A. Pai looked at women and young students as change agents of the society. Moving on to the International Women's Day 2022 campaign theme, #Break the Bias for a Gender Equal World. Few of the points have been already mentioned by the previous speakers. A world free of biases, stereotypes, and discrimination. A world that is diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where difference is valued and celebrated. Together, we can forge women's equality. Collectively, we can all #break the bias. Individually, we are all responsible for our own thoughts and actions all day, every day. We can break the bias in our communities. We can break the bias in our workplaces. We can break the bias in your educational institutions by implicit and explicit bias training in schools and workplaces, teaching children equality during early schooling. And if we women have to make #break the bias possible, you and only you as a woman have to be clear that no one can make you feel weak or inferior without your consent. We have to be strong. We are already strong, but become stronger, confident, and courageous to stand up to any bias we come across, especially towards women. Let us all join together and take a pledge to break the bias today and beyond. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am, for enlightening us with your lines of wisdom. Your lines on empowering women has deeply inspired all of us here. We can break the bias to create a sustainable future, to create a sustainable tomorrow. Thank you, ma'am. Showing gratitude is one of the simplest yet most powerful thing a human can do to each other. Therefore, I call upon Dr. Shobha U. Kamath, Chairperson of the Cultural Coordination Committee, Mahe, to render the vote of thanks.
Good morning, each one of you. Since 9:30 a.m., we are having a delightful time. and thoroughly educational, entertaining, and with women empowering thoughts in the true sense. Honorable guests, university officials, head of the institutions, faculty of various departments, it's my privilege to propose vote of thanks on this occasion of International Women's Day. The so-called secrets of joy will not work unless we celebrate. In this context, I would like to extend our gratitude to Honorable Chancellor Dr. Ramdas Arpai, Pro-Chancellor Dr. H.S. Ballal, Vice Chancellor Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, Pro-Vice Chancellors Dr. P.L.N.G. Rao and Dr. Venkatrai Prabhu, and Registrar Dr. Narayana Sabahit, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, for permitting us to celebrate this Women International Day 2022. On this occasion, I extend a heartfelt gratitude to kind and approachable First Lady of Mahe and Trustee Mahe Trust, Mrs. Vasanthi Arpai. Madam, you are a great inspirational force to every aspiring woman. I place it on record and thank Honorable Union Cabinet Minister for Women and Child Development, Government of India, Mrs. Smriti Zubin Irani, for her best wishes for our program. On behalf of Mahe Fraternity, I would like to thank our chief guest, Mrs. Rekha Sharma, Chairperson, National Commission for Women, who honored this function with her enlightening thoughts, and this will surely encourage every single woman in their future endeavors. Thank you, Madam, for the interesting facts. I extend a respectful gratitude to the President of today's function, Mrs. Kusuma Venkatesh. Thank you, Madam, for your presidential address and with kind words of wisdom. Thank you so much, Madam. We express heartfelt gratitude to Professor Dr. Parvati G. Aital for her active participation in this event. Her intellectual way of imparting knowledge has added to the glory of this function. Thank you, Madam. I would like to take this opportunity to affectionately thank Mrs. Indira S. Ballal, who always seeks to promote the welfare of others, and her presence makes a pleasing difference. Thank you so much, Madam, for being the guest of honor. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation to the Women Achievers 2021, Ms. Hassini Upadhya, Srimati Mukambika Varambali, and Srimati Sharada Shetty, and also Dr. Lochan for receiving the respective awards. I sincerely thank the dignitaries for performing the felicitations of awardees. I would sincerely thank Dr. Anup Naha for instituting the award, and Mrs. Anupa Lewis and Ms. Aditi Shastri Kallaje, Dr. Nivedita S. Prabhu, Dr. Sonia, and Mrs. Hilda Cornelio for wonderful introductions. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Narayana Sabahit, Registrar Manipal Academy of Higher Education, for honoring the winners of the competition. We are grateful to Dr. Sharat Kumar, Dean, Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, for providing this beautiful venue. Thank you, sir. We are indebted to our sponsors, Mr. Rama Nayak K., General Manager of Canara Bank, Manipal, and Mrs. P. Padmavati, Deputy General Manager of Canara Bank. Mr. Prashant Pai from ION, Mr. Maxim Saldana, Business Associate, Tanish Gold and Diamond Jewelry, Udupi, Ditya Creations, Manipal Campus Store, Glamour House, Manipal. I would like to express sincere thanks to Dr. Ashwini Kumar, KMC, Manipal, for judging the poster competition, Dr. Christopher Sudhakar, Dr. Rohit Singh, Dr. Balkrishna Rao and his team Dr. S.P. Kerr and team for excellent media coverage, Colonel Prakash Chandra and team, Mr. Jayavittal and team, Mr. Suresh and team for audiovisuals, A1 decorators for beautifying the venue, chiffon wheels for catering, and everyone who worked for the success of this function. It is my pleasure to thank Ms. Hassini Upadhya, Ms. Archana Jayavittal, team from European Studies and Manipal University Press Mahe, who are going to give us joyous moments in the form of beautiful dances. Thank you, Mrs. Shashi Prabha, for the beautiful invocation. I immensely thank Dr. H.S. Ballal, Pro-Chancellor, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, who believes that educating a girl child is educating a whole family. Under his guidance, since last few years, we are celebrating the Women International Day successfully. Thank you once again, sir, for the opportunity. I take this opportunity to thank Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mahe, Lieutenant General Dr. M.D. Venkatesh, for his wholehearted support. Thank you, sir. An event like this cannot happen overnight. In this context, first of all, I would like to thank Mrs. Hilda Cornelio for initiating and coordinating the event. Thank you, Mrs. Hilda, for your keen interest. I would also extend deep sense of appreciation to the team effort led by Dr. Smita Nayak, Faculty of Manipal Institute of Management, and Dr. Shubha, Faculty of Manipal Institute of Communication, for planning and working for the success of this function. I also thank Dr. Chandani, Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, for conducting poster competition smoothly. Dr. Sushma, Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, for beautifully anchoring the event, and Dr. Geeta Maya for fondly welcoming the gathering. Their key roles in this event is much appreciated. On behalf of Mahe in large and women in specific, we would like to thank and say we remain grateful to one and all audience, including online viewers. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am. And thanks to the Cultural Coordination Committee led by you, waiting to entertain us with a cultural fiesta. With this, we have come to an end of the formal function. It will now be followed by a cultural feast laid by the CCC Mahe. Please sit back and relax. Before we clear the dais, can we now have a photo session of the members of the core committee, please?
खुदा तुम्हारी जिंदगी लंबी करे।
बाबू मुशाय, जिंदगी बड़ी होनी चाहिए, लंबी नहीं।
Please bear with us for a few minutes until we clear the stage and hand it over to CCC.
मुसाफिर था जाने दे, धूप आंगन में आने दे, जीते चल, जीते चल, जीते चल। एक धरती कहती है आजा दौड़ेंगे, यादों के बक्सों में जिंदा सी खुशबू है कहती है सब पीछे छोड़ेंगे। कहता ये पल खुद से निकल, जीते हैं चल, जीते हैं चल, जीते हैं चल, जीते हैं चल।
सितारा,
Hillary Clinton once said, "Women are the largest untapped reservoir of talent in the world." Let us now witness such talents unfurl in front of our eyes in the form of a cultural feast. Now, we have a beautiful performance by Miss Archana Jayavittal, a special dance sport Olympic participant who recently represented India in the World Championship Dance Sport 2021 held at Graz, Austria. Carrying a passion for dance, especially Bharatnatyam, Archana has participated in various competitions and won several accolades and recognitions. She is also associated with Special Olympics in swimming and has combined both her passions together into a dance sport. Archana is also the inspiration behind Asare, which is a joint project of the Archana Trust and the Manipal Academy of Higher Education, conceived to help differently abled citizens across the country. Dear all, please join me in welcoming this rare talent, Miss Archana Jayavittal, with her performance.
मूषिकवाहन मोदक हस्त चामर कर्ण विलंबित सूत्र वामन रूप महेश्वर पुत्र दीन विनायक पाद नमस्ते। मूषिकवाहन मोदक हस्त चामर कर्ण विलंबित सूत्र वामन रूप महेश्वर पुत्र दीन विनायक पाद नमस्ते। दीन विनायक पाद नमस्ते।
Thank you, dear Archana, for such a beautiful piece of art. May I now request Mrs. Indira Ballal to present a memento and appraise this rare gem, Miss Archana Jaivittal. May I also request our Honorable Pro-Chancellor Dr. H.S. Ballal and Vice-Chancellor Dr. M.D. Venkatesh to the dais for a photo. Madam Kusuma Venkatesh, can we have you on the dais, please? The staff of Mahe are now here to entertain you with their lovely dance performance.
International Women's Day 2022. Gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow. Break the bias. Break the bias. Break the bias. Recognizing the contribution of women and girls around the world who are leading the charge on to building a more sustainable future for all. Today, on this International Women's Day, we are going to respect and pay tribute to great personalities who inspired the world from their melodious singing. That is Lata Mangeshkar, a queen of melody, Nightingale of India, and voice of the millennium. And Bappi Lahari, king of disco and Bollywood's disco legend, who have recently passed away and leaving behind their memories with us. Here we present you a Jabardast dance from staff of Mahe. Enjoy this music and cherish the memories of great personalities.
पल बेले देखे जवानी के रेले देखे हसीनों के मेले देखे दिल पे तू ही छा गया तू ही छा गया हर नैनों में सपना सपनों में सजनी सजनी पे दिल आ गया के सजनी पे दिल आ गया
Music is life.
That's why our heart beats.
Forever in our thoughts.
Gone, but never forgotten.
We have your songs as treasured memories.
In loving memory of Queen of Music and King of Disco. That was a colorful, beautiful dance and musical performance by the staff of Mahe, who have given a beautiful tribute to our great achievers. We are now about to witness a semi-classical dance form by Miss Hassini Upadhya, one among our women achievers who has been felicitated for her contributions to art earlier today. Over to you, Miss Hassini. That was a scintillating performance that deeply captivated our attention. Thank you, Ms. Hassini. Next, dancing to the rhythm of Bhangra and Gidda, And to take us to the Punjab, the Pind, we have an energetic and lively performance put together by the staff and students of the Manipal Center for European Studies, Mahe.
ਕੰਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੁੰਦਰਾਂ ਪਾ
Thank you, team. With this, we have come to the end of this beautiful and remarkable event. High tea has been arranged outside this auditorium. I request everyone to be a part of it too. But before this, can we have a group photograph with all our cultural performers? May I now invite our guest of honors to the dais, please.
I love you. और जब तुम उसकी बारात में क्रैश लैंड हुई टल्ली होके, उस दिन कॉलेज वाले प्यार से फॉरएवर वाला प्यार हो गया तुमसे। बाय गॉड।
तेरे बिना क्या हाल है अपना, क्या तुमको बतलाए रे, चूड़ियां मेरी रोए मेरी चुनरी रोई जाए रे। हो तेरे बिना क्या हाल है अपना, क्या तुमको बतलाए रे, चूड़ियां मेरी रोए मेरी चुनरी रोई जाए रे। बिन तेरे सब सजा है, बिन तेरे कहाँ मजा है, बिन तेरे सब सजा है, बिन तेरे कहाँ मजा है, बिन तेरे कहाँ मजा है। चाहतों में याद पिया की, मेरे पिया की, हाय पिया की आने लगी, हाय भीगी भीगी। याद पिया की आने लगी, हाय भीगी भीगी रातों में।
अब तक तो मेरी यादों की